intermittent fast that just happens. Those are kind of my staples. My treat meal, or my big sin, my 10%, as you say in your 90-10 rule, is pizza. Which is actually overrated as a junk food. It can be pretty healthy. I mean, after all, you think about it, it's all the ingredients in the Mediterranean diet on a piece of grain, a grained dough. It's what? Tomato sauce, cheese, olive oil, vegetables, spinach, mushrooms. I mean, can be pretty decent food, except for the grains. It's pretty decent. So
anything can be better. Any food out there that people love can always be better. There's always a better option. But if there was one thing, because our listeners vary, some of them are further along on their nutrition journey, some are just getting started. Mm-hmm. If you could recommend one thing that maybe it's to your clients, or maybe it's to your private consulting group, members. What is the one thing that people can do today on their journey to better health? And it is a journey.
It's a great question. I have a very easy answer to that, because I find that, in the lectures I've been giving over the last 30 years around the country, the articles I write, the feedback I get from Facebook, from everywhere that I go, is that this stuff is just too damn confusing, and that nobody can figure out what's what. And one day it's this and one day it's that. And I understand that, and my work and my writing has always been geared towards that audience. It's like, okay, this is what you need to know, because this is the important thing. And my simple, dumbed down advice for anybody who is struggling with, like, what diet to, should it be paleo, should it be keto? And among each of those categories, there's a dozen variations. There's even along, there's paleo ancestral health, where they movement where they do accept dairy, and there's strict paleo where they don't, and then there's the paleo autoimmune protocol. So there's a lot of variations, and it's very easy to go nuts. And so when people are feeling that, I tell them, take a step back, relax, and I'm going to give you one piece of nutrition advice, one single piece. It's really the only piece you will ever need. So if you ever have to get rid of your entire nutrition library and everything you ever heard and every diet book you ever read, and just hang your hat on one piece of advice, it's going to be this: eat real food. Mm-hmm. Now, let me expand on that, because it sounds like, well, what does it mean, eat real food? If you were to make one major change in your dietary life, in your nutritional life, that would give you the absolute biggest return on investment, it would be to eat only food that your great, 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 great grandmother would have recognized. Mm. In other words, food that does not come in a package, does not come in a box, does not come in a jar, literally food you could have hunted, fished, gathered, or plucked. Mm. I believe that if you do that, it is far more important than what percentages come from protein, and what percentages come from fat, and what percentages come from carbs, and how many calories that you eat, and what timing is the eating. If you can make it a black and white, digital, on, off, is it real food or is it not? If you're in doubt, it's not. If you sit outside in the garden, would it spoil? Yes or no? This is a very easy distinction. And if you have any doubt whatsoever, is this a processed food? Yes, it is. If you're not sure, it is.
I love it. That's great advice. Okay, one last question. If you had only one thing to eat, and I know this is crazy, but just curious, one thing to eat for the rest of your life, what is that one just favorite thing of yours?
I want to say pizza, but now you see, it's a hard question, because am I eating it for survival? Like, is this like my last meal?
Yeah, it's just whatever you want.
Christianism, or is this something what's most likely to keep me going to keep me alive?
Yeah.
Kind of two different questions.
Well, I want it to be the thing that you love the most.
I'm pretty fond of pizza.
No shame in that game, brother.
What I do. But again, people will say to me, like, how do you justify eating pizza as a healthy thing? And I go, well, let me ask you how you eat your pizza. And, well, I know, we order a pizza, we have some beers, we get the chips, we watch a football game. But let me tell you how I eat my pizza: with creamed kale and spinach, with some black beans. I mean, I got some vegetables to go with it, as side orders like that. So, I mean, and it's one slice out of a day that includes fresh blueberries, some cherries, lots of nuts, for homemade yogurt. I mean, it's really patterns of eating that gets us healthy, not just single foods. There really are no magical foods and magical proportions of protein, fat, and carbohydrates. It's really patterns of eating that are healthy. And that's what I think. I think that's what you go after when you talk about your 90-10 rule. If 90% of the stuff you eat is really good and 10% isn't poison, it's maybe not great, but it's not like you're eating 90% vegetables.
It's not like you're chugging down diet soda and chasing it with Twinkies. No. Exactly. It's still real food, and it's handmade, and you love it. And like you said, you eat one piece of it because it gives you so much joy and pleasure, and you savor it, and you actually taste it.
Yes.
And that's a real dish. That's when you eat with intention.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I know we didn't get to half the questions you had sent me over, and I was looking forward to going over all these. Maybe I should come back and we can.
I think I'd love to have you back. I think we could talk for volumes and volumes, but I think this is a great start. Okay. And I want to thank you, Jonny. And we're gonna post all of the notes so that people can come find you. Okay. Is there one particular place that maybe they can follow you where you get to interact with them the most?
I'm pretty responsive on Twitter at Jonny Bowden, and my website is johnnybowden.com. And just remember, there's no H in Jonny, JONNY BOWDEN.
Yeah, and you'll find the link, guys, in the show notes. Jonny, it's been a pleasure. I'm so glad that we're friends. Me too. And I love our discussions.
Okay, great. We'll do it again. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I know you have a lot of choices out there of what to listen to, what to watch, so it means a lot to me that you're here with me. And hey, if you love this content, would you hit the subscribe button? I want you around. I don't want you to just show up for one episode and leave. I want you here, part of the conversation, a seat at this table. And while you're at it, would you share this with your friends and family? And if you take a screenshot and share it on your social media with a hashtag RFYBL for Recipes for Your Best Life, I'll make sure to personally give you a shout out, and you may just be featured right here on the show. So until next time, here's to living deliciously and being the chef of your best life.